Welcome back, everybody, into the Buffalo Bills Madden 24 franchise. I am Josh McCarty of Bills Chat. Before we get going today, I would love it if you took the time to like and subscribe. It helps Luca and I out so much as we are trying to build this channel. I got to get the camera figured out here. Why is it? Is that better? There we go. Is that better? Seems like a little, nope, now it's a little bit down. There we go. We got to sort it out. That helps Luca and I out so much as we are trying to build this Bills Chat YouTube channel from the ground up. And just subscribing very quickly is free, and it goes a long way to helping us do that. So we are at week 13. We are at the bye week. And for this episode, there will be no gameplay. I am warning you all now. So if you want to skip this one, I get it. I totally understand. This one may not be for everybody. But I do know there's a segment of viewers that really do appreciate the franchise team management portion of franchise. So that's what this episode is about. We will kind of reset the season, look at the standings, look at the league leaders. But what I really want to look at on this bye week episode is, one, I want to take a look at players that I can renegotiate with and extend contracts for. I also want to look at some of the players we've scouted, get a feel for what this draft class is looking like. And then from there, we will obviously go into some of those stats we talked about before. So let's get into it. So it's time to negotiate some contracts, and folks, we've already found a little bit of a problem. When I go in, I'll just choose Gabe Davis here. You can see on this screen, maybe? Where is it at? Where can we see it at? Right over there. Remaining cap, negative $25 million, 24.8 to be exact. That's not good, which means for us to negotiate with anybody right now, we'd have to clear $25 million off of next year's books. Now, we could probably do that through some restructures or, God forbid, trading some folks that are going to be very important to this hopeful playoff run. I don't want to do that. I don't want to start restructuring things with a blind eye on the books. I'd much rather get to the offseason, take a look at the books then, see what players are coming up that I can release, see what players I can restructure at that point. So I think we have to hold off on extending any of these guys. I would have loved to get Gabe Davis done in season. Going through the list, though, I don't think Damian Harris will be a priority. Micah Hyde, it'll greatly depend on any kind of regression he has, as he'll be 33 years old. Taylor Rapp is a better real-life player than Madden player. He's just way too slow. AJ Epinesa, he'd have to come back on a pretty team-friendly deal as a depth piece. Dane Jackson, starting cornerback, that's not a bad salary. We can't afford to do any of this right now. Everybody else here is really, Alex Austin, Tyrell Dotson. Leonard Floyd's a guy that I wouldn't mind getting back. He could be a little more expensive. But all in all, Daquan Jones, interesting. All in all, Gregory Rousseau. So we will want to do his fifth-year option for sure. He's a stud. But we want to look at this, and I think we'll have to just fast forward to the offseason on this stuff because we're stuck. We can't clear $25 million. I don't even want to try to get into restructures just yet until we get to the offseason and we can see what that cap table looks like. So I guess we're moving on to scouting. So when it comes to scouting, we're about 95% of the way there on some of these guys. So we got a real good feel for how they look. And the first one I want to talk about is Walter Yates. We are certainly going to be in the tackle market this offseason and probably, hopefully, in the first round if we can find the right guy. Walter Yates is listed as a round one projection, but when you look under the hood of what they're talking about with him, good awareness, good impact blocking, but holy cow, D, pass blocking, B, run blocking, that's a little scary. I don't know that we could make that work. And, he's got good attributes, good physical attributes, but I worry about having to build him from the ground up when you're talking about D, pass blocking in an offense for our Buffalo Bills that that does a lot of passing. Conversely, Joey Kemp here looks really solid all around. Round one projection. What was that? Round one projection. And he's got B pass block and B run block. Has very good physical skills. I cannot talk tonight, folks. What's going on? Elite strength, good speed, elite change of direction. This guy is absolutely going to get added to our favorites list, assuming I can figure out how to do that. Okay, so he's on the favorites list. Excellent. Chip Kuhn, interesting player here. He has good pass block. The run block leaves a lot to be desired. Not a great athlete by any means. So I think this is a guy who makes sense as a day 3 prospect. Under the radar player here, Lawrence Brothers. He's not a lot here to offer. D pass block, C run block. Okay physical skills. Good, not great. Maybe a guy that if we miss out on the tackles on day 1 or day 2, that we could get as an under-the-radar free agent in day 3. Kareem Larson just could not even make our roster with F pass block. So we'll see what goes on with these tackles, but starting to get a clearer picture of what these guys look like. Another guy, fool's gold here, right tackle, Christian Wharton. He has A run block, but D pass block. And that's just too much to look at. That's just too much to have to improve at this point. Check out Dean St. Clair. Dean St. Clair has B pass block, D run block. I'd rather it be that way for the way our team plays. Has good physical strength, good physical ability. Actually, poor strength. What am I saying? He has okay ability. But what I'm learning about this tackle class, guys, is there may not be a perfect prospect here. Now, Daryl Aldridge has B run block, C pass block. That's not bad. And his physicals are good. So this is a guy that I want to add to my favorites list. He's listed as a potential undrafted free agent, but I feel like he's somebody that if we get to day 3 and the tackle board hasn't really gone our way, we could target him, and he's somebody that maybe probably not compete for a starting job right away, but come in a year or two of development and get him where we need to get to. All right, the last position I want to look at today is safety. We have Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer both aging, and we have Taylor Rapp, who I don't think is any kind of long-term answer based on how he looks, at least in Madden. Let's take a look at some of these guys. We're 75% of the way there on, and we're going to start with Emmett Grubbs. He has C zone coverage, B man coverage. That's not too bad. Check out his physicals. Really good athlete. You like to see that. Great speed. And what is his height? Is there a way to see what his height is? We may not be able to see that until, he's 6 foot 225. Okay. Emmett Grubbs might be somebody we definitely want to keep an eye on. Let's check out Earl Terry. Earl Terry has B zone coverage, B tackle. I like that a lot. Let's check out his physical. Again, a really good athlete. And he is 5'11", 204, a little bit smaller. But I think he's somebody that could come in right away and compete for a starting job, particularly if you see a decline out of Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. Let's check out Trayvon Stringer. Not good attributes there. Check out Melvin Lowell. F zone coverage. He can F off. Get it? Tucker Good. More like Tucker Bad. Whoa, guys. I am on fire right now with these lame jokes. Let's check out... Not kicker. There we go. I can just not figure out where to place my face. There we go. I'm not looking at my PlayStation screen right now. I'm just doing this through my computer because I'm not playing the game. And so I'm trying to just cheat the system, and it's not working out too well because I keep having to move my face. Avery Ballard. Let's check him out. Ooh, 6'2", 211. Zone coverage could use some work, but does he have... All right, I just get out of the way, self. Good to great speed, 6'2". Okay, Avery. I see you. We're going to add you to the favorite list. Like to see that. Check out Daryl Finney. Daryl Finney, C zone. Not the biggest guy, 5'11", and decent physical attributes, good speed. So I don't think Daryl Finney does anything that really pops. Maybe something will come out as we get further along in his evaluation. Cedric Redmond, B zone coverage, 6 foot, solid athlete, not great, solid athlete. Maybe. We're going to add him to a favorites list. Again, this is the kind of player that potentially miss out on safety early. You get him on the second day, and maybe you have somebody that can come in and compete for a starting job. Might end up being a little bit shorter episode now that we realize we can't extend any players. Let's look at the playoff picture right now. How are things looking for our Buffalo Bills? We are currently the 4 seed in the AFC. The Jaguars, who we've already lost to, are the 1 seed. The Bengals, who trounced us, are the 2 seed. The Raiders are winning the AFC West, and we are winning the AFC East. Let's take a look at the actual standings, though. That will paint a clearer picture. We will start with our AFC East. Bills are 7-5, and we have 3 wins in the division. We've already beaten the Dolphins. We've beaten the Patriots. We split with the Jets. All 3 of those teams are under 500. It would be a massive disappointment at this point in time if we don't win this division. We are set up great. The win against the Eagles was massive. Still have some tough games left. Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers. But love where we're sitting right now. The Chiefs are 7-4. They are sitting in a wild card spot. The Raiders are 8-4, kind of a surprising 8-4 team leading the AFC West. That'd be interesting if they can hold on and keep that division title from the Chiefs. A down year for the Chargers, 5-6, 4th place in the AFC West. Jaguars are 10-1. We went toe-to-toe with them for a while before they pulled away from us in London. And then the rest of the AFC South just leaving a lot to be desired. The Titans and Colts both hovering around 500. And then the AFC North, the Bengals are kind of doing what they do. 9-2, they smashed us. The Ravens are 8-4, Steelers 6-5, and the Browns sitting there at 4-7. Let's take a look at some of the league leaders, and let's just go to NFL. Josh Allen leads all passers with 3,650 yards, and he also is second to Joe Burrow with touchdowns. The problem with Josh Allen, he also leads the league in interceptions. So there's a give and a take here. 53% completion percentage is not ideal, but all in all, I think I'm pretty happy considering it's all Madden. When you're looking at rushing yards, I don't expect to see James Cook up here. The usual suspects, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor. Kareem Hunt is apparently a Arizona Cardinal and doing really well. James Cook has 805 yards this season, though. So that's pretty good. And, you know, he'll get over 1,000 barring injury. Happy with that. He already has 8 rushing touchdowns. Very solid year for James Cook in his first year as our bell cow running back. I mean, this is the Stephon Diggs show when it comes to wide receiver. He has almost 500, exactly 500 yards more than the next closest person. He has 19 touchdowns. To say I'm spamming Stephon Diggs would be the understatement of the century. He is just an all-around weapon for us. And I don't think Dawson Knox is sitting there at 645. Is Dawson Knox the highest tight end? No, Evan Ingram's there, and I'm guessing probably Kelsey. Yeah, so Dawson Knox has the 3rd most yardage out of tight ends. That's interesting. I would not expect us to be among the league leaders in sacks. It feels like we never get sacks in this game. And this definitely backs that up as I am scrolling. Don't see any Bills. And I'm going to just stop scrolling at this point. Interceptions, it feels like it's been a few games since we've seen some. Tre'Davious White, he has 5 for our team. What a bummer in real life. He ruptured his Achilles, and he's out for the season. That guy just, if it wasn't for bad luck, he'd have no luck. I hope that doesn't end his career. What a great player he's been for the Bills. But now, torn ACL in 2021, came back from it in 2022, and now his Achilles. It's a lot to ask. Kyer Elam, 4 interceptions. Really happy with what we're doing there. And then Tyler Bass, perfect on field goals. 14 of 14 with a long of 60. Let's take a look at the MVP race. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are both in contention, but they're 6th and 7th respectively. So, you know, it would take a massive finish to the season for them to catch some of these guys like Lawrence, who's on a 10-1 team, or Burrow. But they're in the hunt. Offensive Player of the Year, this is the Stephon Diggs Award. Feel good about that. He should come away with that barring an injury. Defensive Player of the Year, Matt Milano and Tre'Davious White are both in contention, but right now it's Jeffrey Simmons for the Titans, their outstanding defensive lineman. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Dalton Kincaid, sitting there at 6th. Hasn't had the monster season that we hoped for. Marvin Mims, the Broncos' 2nd-round pick, absolute speed to burn, sitting there at number 1. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Dorian Williams, sitting there 2nd overall, behind Antonio Johnson of those Jacksonville Jaguars, the safety, the rookie safety. Best quarterback right now is Joe Burrow. Josh Allen is 6th on the list. in the AFC, so not particularly close. James Cook is also 6th on the list of best running backs in the AFC. Stephon Diggs has best wide receiver. Best O-line, Connor McGovern sitting there at number 10, so the Bills are getting some love on the trenches. Best D-line, Von Miller sitting at 10. Best linebacker, there's Matt Milano, which is kind of weird that he was... Wait a minute. Matt Milano was Defensive Player of the Year, number 7, but he's also... Excuse me, I just burped right in the microphone. The 8th best linebacker? Someone explain that one to me. The math doesn't really check out there. Look at our cornerbacks. Tre'Davious White, Kyer Elam, and Christian Benford. They are just tearing it up. And the best kicker is T-Bass Bass Money. Coach of the Year, Sean McDermott, did not make the list. Dougie P. sitting there at number 1. Can we see the Pro Bowl yet? I don't think so. All right. All right, so what's next for the Buffalo Bills? We have 5 games remaining in the season, and none of them will be easy. We come back, we go to Arrowhead to take on those Kansas City Chiefs before coming back to Buffalo to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Then we go to LA to take on the Chargers, a home matchup against the New England Patriots before closing out the season in Miami against those Miami Dolphins. 2 wins, 3 wins should lock up the division. Hopefully, maybe. I don't think it's realistic at all. We can catch the Jaguars for the bye. So at this point, it really is about the division. We should be playing on Wild Card Weekend, unfortunately. But, we're going to make the playoffs the first year, barring a catastrophe. Let's stay healthy. Let's stay with it. I hope this bye week episode was fun for you, a little bit shorter. Just so you all know, I've had some stuff going on. My wife is out of town. She's got work stuff going on this week, then she's out of town next week, so I'm alone on kid duty, and that's one reason why there was no video on Tuesday. We should get back in the regular rotation, but hey, sometimes life happens, and a Madden series isn't quite up there on the priority list when it comes to handling 2 kids on my own, but I definitely want to be consistent for you all, so I do expect to have another episode drop this Chiefs game coming out on Tuesday. But again, before I get out of here, I would love it if you guys took the time to like and subscribe. I will be back next week against the Kansas City Chiefs as we are now on the road to the playoffs and hopefully on the beginning of a Super Bowl run. Time will tell. I will see you next time on Buffalo Bills Madden 24 franchise.